Warning, all characters in any improvised games are fictional and do not support the views of anyone in this podcast.
There were 3 failing actors and they decided to make a podcast, and here it is.
Yo! What up?
Yo!
I am Jordinho.
I am Jack.
And I'm Victor.
We are the 3 fan actors. Up first, a word from our sponsors.
Give me your tomatoes. I don't want to. Seriously. Give them. No. They're my tomatoes. I have a gun. So? I will shoot you if you don't receive them tomatoes. Herman's tomatoes. So good, you may get murdered on the way back from the shop for them.
They're really good.
They're
really good.
Yeah, like I've almost died buying them, but it's worth it.
It's worth it though.
I've had tomacos as well.
Tomatoes, have you?
And yeah, Herman's tomatoes are much better.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Fair
I'd
enough.
say.
Nice. I don't normally like tomatoes, but those tomatoes, I will go for every day.
Those tomatoes.
Every day of the week. Up first, we have topic of the week.
Topic of the week. Doo-doo-doo.
And this week's topic is...
This week's topic is...
Looking at Jack, because me and Victor have no idea what's going on.
Okay, so this week's topic. So I read an article on The Guardian this week about a new film that's coming out about Robin Williams
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
called Come Inside My Mind. I think it's called Come Inside My Mind.
How's cum spelt?
And it's
That was bad. My bad.
and it's a really different. Like, obviously, there's a lot of films made about lots of different people.
Yeah.
Who are famous, but the whole thing, there's no narration from a third party, so there's no one being like Robin Williams at the age of so and so. It's all just voice clips and old stand-up footage of him.
Interesting.
But the thing that arose from it is there's a really nice and I've got the article up here, it was on The Guardian that I read it. There's a really nice essay that's linked to it that Susan Williams, his widow,
Yeah.
shared on, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a neurological website for people researching and studying, I don't know what the degree would be called, neuroscience,
Yeah.
called The Terrorist Inside My Husband's Brain.
Okay.
Right? Because it turns out, and I didn't know this, and I'm a massive fan of Robin Williams and his work, that he had, so it turns out when, obviously he took his own life, unfortunately, which is really sad, he had Lewy body disease, which is an excess build-up of protons in the brain,
Okay.
which happens naturally, but with Lewy bodies it does it to such an extent, and that's what drove him to kill himself.
Would
And I
you-
didn't know that.
So what?
Like, my only problem with that kind of thing is because you never know. It's like the same with like Heath Ledger when they were like, oh, it's playing the Joker is what drove him insane to kill himself. I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, I
Well, we
wasn't
don't
there.
know, but supposedly
But like, it would obviously wouldn't have helped.
it was a big contributing factor.
Lewy
and
bodies.
and I think it's
Yeah,
called
I
Lewy bodies. What was it called? It's like, she keeps describing it as LBD. I'm going to bring it up, but my actual point of topic of the week is 2 things. So, does someone's fame get greater if they were to, take their life or die, and also the other question I had was, do we feel as actors that mental health, especially being men, that mental health is like not something that you have to have, but do you feel like it kind of comes in role with being an actor?
I feel like anyone who decides to pretend to be someone for a long extended amount of time must be a bit crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Go into that.
That is
Yeah.
sort of
Tell
point.
As
me.
all of us, like, speaking, I'm speaking for myself, but as a generalisation of acting, the craft of acting is to pretend to be someone for a long period of time, to tend to actually think, especially with Stanislavski's methods with naturalistic acting, or method acting, is literally to become the person, pretend to be the person. It's got to be unhealthy, innit?
Yeah, definitely a little bit. I feel like I think that comes with a lot of not just acting, but like a lot of stuff creatively in general tends to lead to it's not that it's not normal to be creative. It is normal to have an element of creativity. I think to go to certain extremes.
But you could call them extremes either way. So for like, I'd say that not that Stanislavski's technique is too much, but I feel that there's aspects of that that can take. So emotional recall.
Yeah.
I feel like that. Imagine having a part in like a West End
Do you want to
play.
explain what emotional recall
So
is?
emotional recall is using your past experiences to recall on emotion to bring forth to a character. So like sadness, you take yourself back to a sad time, and that emotion is easily recalled for that character. I feel like if you had a part, let's say, in a West End production, that's a 5-week stint, and you were doing that once or twice a day for like 2 hours, that's a lot.
That's dream.
You're
So
literally visiting that memory
Again and again and again.
and again and
That
again.
can't be healthy.
It can't be helpful.
So what was the first question as well?
That do you feel like
Oh, death leads
with
to
death,
fame.
do you feel leads
Or,
to more fame?
Like if someone's already famous to a point, I feel like I just died, all of a sudden nothing would happen to me. But like, yeah, say you were like a celebrity and you died, at least in the short term after your death, it will absolutely catapult sales in whatever you did.
Right.
It always happens.
Naturally.
It just does, because like it makes people think about it.
Makes
for
people
one.
go, it's like nostalgia as well. People go back to when they...
Yeah. It always happens. And
But I mean like long term.
long term, it depends. Depends on the person.
I think dying young as well. Such
Because
as
people-
Tupac, Biggie...
Because like you never saw them reach their full potential, which also means you never saw them fall off.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
true.
always think of it as greatness. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
feel like they can go
Cobain.
forever.
I'm just saying musical artists here.
But
like,
it happens a lot in
music
music. Music is
artists,
is a good
Yeah,
like
that's
show.
true.
So
It's a good example, music.
almost always, unless even if like, say Michael Jackson lived till he was like 90 and then he died, people would then go about and buy like old albums of his, mainly for the nostalgia reason. So yeah, always short term and quite often long term as well, depending on how old you were.
Yeah, I think.
Definitely. What do you guys feel about people making stuff like this movie about Robin Williams, where it's a movie about his life, but he's not here anymore, so he has absolutely no say on if he'd want a movie made about him and
Depends.
what's in the movie. If they're using footage of him, then maybe it's footage he wouldn't have wanted them to use.
Maybe if it was like made like with his wife or something, like with her in the production, and it's just like a memory treasure for her without something.
That's a super tough question.
Yeah.
Because I never know how I feel about these films when they come out.
Because I was thinking about it the other day, because I've got all of, I'm a massive Kurt Cobain fan, so I've got all of his journals, all of his private journals, and they released it as like this big book. And I've read through all of them, and I'm like if I was that like in the limelight, that famous, and these were things that you were keeping to yourself and thoughts.
Would you want them released?
Would you want
later?
all of that put into a book and then sold for? So I don't know. I think that's a really tough question
It happens with artists all the time, where all their unreleased music gets released, and it's like, well, they didn't release it.
for a reason.
Yeah, because they didn't want it out.
I don't know if I can answer that.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always
Weigh
find
in
it
on that.
weird. Like, I just find it weird.
That's
I don't
tough.
think people do things like that for profit. I mean, people can do things like that for profit,
Yeah.
like companies and stuff.
Yeah.
But like with loved ones and stuff, I think they just want the memory there. Like,
Oh, yeah,
like
no,
if someone
I do
offered them,
understand, yeah.
we can make the memory of
And
your
on the
husband,
other side of that, yeah, I suppose like
like a treasure box.
yeah, not just that, but
Like we
I
can
think
visit.
it kind of say like Robin Williams, for example. I haven't seen the film. I don't know a lot about the film other than who directed it and all of this. And I don't know. I part of me is like, yeah, because I like watching Robin Williams, so it'd be quite nice to see all of that footage and some of the younger footages in it as well. So he was like a budding kind of stand-up comedian. So I think I don't know. It's hard. It's tough. It's a tough question.
Yeah,
That's a real toughie.
it's really, I think it depends on each situation. It's
Yeah.
really hard.
Really tough.
Cool. That's it for topic of the week.
Yeah.
Up next, we have the magical adventures of Varagon Village.
Magical adventures of some other village.
Do you boys remember what you did last week?
Killed.
It's like a skin swapping.
We killed a bloody transformer.
What a transform.
So a skin.
Not an actual transformer.
Oh, a bear thing.
It's like a
didn't I?
skin
Yeah,
swap.
it was
So
a-
it could,
and then a
it could
bear.
take the skin of people or creatures that had killed and switch into them.
Demon base.
And you
I
guys
reckon.
went to this cave to try and find Snozzwiz to heal the Magic Jackie Boy tree.
it's snot. I'm a snot, aren't I?
And you're a little snot.
Franklin. Yes, I remember.
I'm happy to tell you guys,
Good memories.
after you killed the man, you've retrieved your spear. There was a big stash of Snozzwiz in a big old sack, which you managed to take back with you. But you realise your guide who brought you here is dead.
Oh,
And you don't say, well, and you're kind of a bit lost. So you guys try and wander back as best you can. You get a little lost. Then you find a path, and you're like, well, we might as well take the path because it will lead eventually to the main road, and we know where we are.
Yeah.
You guys travelling down the path for a little while. You can start talking if you want, or you can just carry on walking.
Have I seen what's in the bag?
No, you don't know what's in the back.
Oh.
You just got brought along on this adventure.
Was it Veragon?
Veragon, the champion of
Yeah.
the world. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just call you
And
Veragon.
As he says that, the wind goes by and it goes, champion of the world.
Okay, I'm just going to call you Veragon. What's in the bag?
What's in the box?
Snozzwiz.
And what?
As he
Snozzwiz.
says that, like a little bit of snot, like dribbles out of your
Oh,
nose.
you call it
a little bit
Snotwiz.
more than usual.
Oh yes. Snotwiz, yes.
Well, we call it Snozzwiz. Tomato.
Okay, why?
I'm gonna heal that tree. He's my friend.
Right.
Because he's not a demon, you see.
No,
He doesn't like killing people. He likes being a tree.
okay, alright, I get that. But, I mean, I don't want to impose, but I did watch the tree kill people.
Yes.
I'm just putting it out there.
Bad people.
Your people. As he says that, you remember that it was your people he was killing.
And I'm scowling at him like, what? What do you mean bad people?
I mean, lesser people.
You guys can hear voices further down the path now.
We're coming back to this conversation.
Alright, watch out though, because there's some noises. I might have to save you again.
Save me.
So, further down the road, you see 3 men, fully armoured, full gear. Some wearing leather armour, one wearing full, like, plate armour. They all seem to have swords and weapons equipped, and they're hanging a woman. There's a tree, a rope tied over it, and there's a woman with the noose around her neck. She's currently standing on a stump, and it looks like they're getting prepared to kick the stump out from underneath her.
Oh, and I look up at Veragon, I'm like, oh, better save the day, champion of the world.
As you say that, a bird with very bright blue eyes flies over and lands on top of the tree that she's been hung from.
That's probably a symbol she was a bad, bad woman.
I mean, you keep talking about this bird like you've seen it before.
That bird you gotta watch out for, mate.
Alright, okay. And I pretend to write it down. Like, I pretend to pull out an imaginary notebook and write it down. Yeah,
Look out
okay.
for a bird with blue and red eyes.
Yeah, and I pretend to pop it back in a
Yeah,
non-existent
but
pocket.
his blue eyes are shining a lot brighter at the moment.
Right.
I approached the lads up by the
The hanging.
hanging.
As you get
And I say-
closer,
How's it? What's going on?
how's it hanging? As you get closer, you realise the woman seems to have like a scaly face, more like a lizard.
Yeah.
But she seems fairly worried and upset and innocent. Doesn't seem to have done anything, but does have the face of more of a lizard.
Right.
Like, right, who are you?
Just Veragon, the champion of the world.
Oh, we've heard about you around these parts. Some big know-it-all, isn't he?
Big kill it all. I just killed a demon and about to kill some more demons later on. What are you guys doing?
Who hasn't killed a demon? Hanging this one. Point at the lady.
What's she done?
Look at her.
Oh yeah, that's hideous.
Exactly.
Come on, Franklin, let's go.
And I don't want to weigh in on this conversation because I am about 4 foot smaller than all of you.
They haven't actually even noticed you're really there yet.
But what has she done?
Well, look at her.
And I go, look, it's right, Franklin. Look at the state of her.
And I'm like failing to see the connection.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I'm just going to put this out here, it's just an idea. I don't think that's very fair.
Well, she's an abomination.
Okay,
Bit like you.
right. I can see where this conversation's going.
And I go, come on, guys, that's my snot there you're talking to. That's
What? Your snot?
I don't fucking start talking about your hangee, do I?
We're killing her.
Yeah, well,
We can have the little one if you want. We do it for free.
And I think for a little bit, but and I go, just kidding, and I rustle Franklin's hair.
Don't touch me.
You realise you've got a little bit of snot from his hair as
I
well.
wipe the snot.
It's what he uses to grease his hair back.
I wipe the snot on the side of
And
my chin.
okay. Well, can I at least? I'm a sermon. Don't know if you know this. Didn't mention this to you earlier. I'm practicing, and I make like a little pray sign. Like, yep, practicing. Can I at least? If you're going to do the deed, can I at least go and have a word and make sure that she's made everything squared with the? And I point to the sky.
For fuck's sake, go on then, be quick.
All right, lovely. And I wander on over, and I begin to climb up.
I
She's
find a
still
nice
standing on
place
the
to
log,
sit,
yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You found a nice place to sit.
and I take a little bit of snozzles out of the bag.
Yeah, you
and
just sit at the other side of the path. There's a laid down trunk. You assume is where they've got the logs from to let us stand on. You're sitting on that.
And I'm sat,
And a little
and
bit
I'm
of
sat on her
sauce with.
shoulder, and are they out like earshot?
No, they're all hanging around still. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I say, "Hi there. What's your name?"
Hey, I can't do a female voice, so I sound like a man.
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
Hey.
What's going on here?
Well, I got dragged away from my family, from my mum, my ma and papa,
Right.
and by these guys, and they're going to kill me.
Right.
Can you help, please?
Yeah, no,
you seem like a brave, noble.
I can see that they're going to kill you.
This is the first time Franklin's ever received praise in his life, by the way.
Okay. Firstly, thank you. This is all new to me. And
you are you're being very brave here.
Oh, I broke the dagger, didn't I?
You got the
Shit.
rotating.
I have, but I kind of want that.
Oh,
What else have I got in my backpack?
You got a spoon.
A spoon.
Oh, I've got a spoon.
Mhm. Got some pocket lint as well.
Pocket lint's not going to do a lot. All right, fuck it. And I say that to myself. Fuck it. And I say, I've got this this spinny blade thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to keep my voice down to make sure they can't hear. I'm pretending to be, godly with you.
She nods.
I'm gonna try and free you.
Tongue flicks out as well.
And I shout, it's probably a bad sign, Franklin.
I'm gonna try and free you because they were calling you names, and as someone who has an abnormally large nose and is about 2'4", I feel like it's my duty. Does that seem fair?
That seems very, very
Now,
fair.
there's a couple of things we have to go through before I do this.
Yes.
You're not going to be bad in any way to me and my friend, are you?
No, if you guys save me, then I'll basically worship you.
Okay.
I can't say much for your friend because he hasn't actually helped in this situation at all. But you, brave hero, you definitely deserve praise.
Right, okay. Well, I mean, that seems fair. And I pull the blade out and fucking pull down on it so it starts spinning, and I slash at the rope.
Yeah, you slash the rope clean cut.
Yeah.
It falls down behind
I
her.
take notice, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, and I get my spear out unwillingly just in case. Something
Like, what the
fight spear.
fuck are you
And
doing?
I jump off the back of her and slice through the rope that I assume is holding her hands in place down.
Yeah, you managed to do that quite successfully, quite heroically.
Yeah.
Even though there's heroic music in the background, you hear a trumpet in the distance. And you land down behind her. You see the three fully armed guys turn around and draw their blades now. Two have swords, one has an axe.
All right.
Like an executioner's axe.
Is her feet bandaged together as well?
No, they're unbandaged.
Now you can run away.
She puts her hands out either side of her,
Still
begins to
quick.
float slightly and cackling.
Right. And I look over at Baragon. And I like shrug my
The
shoulders.
three guys seem completely as if they're not taking you seriously as a threat at all.
Okay.
They look very terrified of her.
Right. Well, I mean, that's their problem, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm like going whoop whoop whoop.
Like,
You
what
got
the
this.
fuck have you done?
Racism, bro.
I said, we told you to look at her, didn't we? Can't you see?
Well,
And I say, I'm sorry. This is what my snot does.
Yeah, you guys can hear buzzing now, lots of buzzing.
okay. This
Seems
is,
like I go, look. I look at her and I go, she seems like a dragon. All right, Franklin.
no, yeah, I get that, but they were gonna hang her.
But some dragons are bad.
No, not. All right, what? And all snots are bad.
Don't make this about snots now.
All snots are snots, are they?
I mean,
You can see some purple start to kind of appear from her hands, start formulating around them, swirling.
I quickly switched the spear to Demon.
The buzzing's getting a lot louder now, and you notice there's a lot of flies around.
Okay.
And a little centipede comes out of one of the guy's noses as well, with an axe, and he starts screaming.
I quickly throw the spear through the lady.
You miss. Goes straight into the tree next to her.
And I go...
She doesn't seem too pleased at this.
And I go, I fucking hate that tree. Like just...
Trying to play it off.
play it off,
Yeah. Some of the three guys are trying to get close to her and approach her, the weapons drawn, but now more and more bugs are kind of crawling out of ears, noses, some out of mouth. Big spider kind of uses its legs to pry open one of their mouths as he's screaming.
Nice.
And
They're starting to fall to the ground now.
As I'm running to get my spear back out of the tree, I go, Franklin, look what you done.
Well, I'm not being funny, but kind of deserved it, didn't they? I'd say. Like clapping my hands like I've done a good job.
I said, you gave her your weapon.
Well, no, I didn't give her the weapon. I just cut her free.
As you guys are talking about this, some of the bodies are starting to get really bloated on the floor now of the three guys.
And I take everything
now.
relentlessly, and I just like shrug it off, like, come on, Franklin. And I grab the Snozzwiz and I walk off.
You just walk off.
Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And I follow, but as I do so, I turn around and like give her a thumbs up.
She does a thumbs up to you as well.
Nice.
As the one of the bodies on the ground gets so bloated it explodes outwards, just the bugs kind of flying everywhere and crawling around.
Nice. Well, yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, you guys keep going. She doesn't seem to follow.
Cool.
Doesn't seem to follow. She's very
And
happy
I
to have
go,
been
frankly,
free.
she's probably got her own shit going on.
Well, yeah, I just thought it would help.
The bird seems to stay behind with her. And that was following you, and you guys carry on down the road.
Lovely.
So you guys travel for now about 20 minutes. You come to the main road, and you realise if you turn right, that should be the way to the village. On a tree there, kind of on the side, and a signpost, and labelled to both is a picture saying "Wanted." It's a picture of the lizard face you just saw. And there's a big reward on there as well. It's 1,000 crowns, golden crowns.
And I go,
And it's underneath it. It kind of gives multiple warnings about how this is a very dangerous fugitive, and a list of her crimes, and the crimes are quite extensive and horrible.
I go, Franklin, look, your mate's on the posters.
Yeah. Doing her own thing. Having her own problems.
And they're like really like horrible things she's done in the past as well.
What are we reading? What are we reading?
There's a lot of like at one point she overtook an orphanage, killed the person who ran it, and then disguised herself as that person for a long time, and was using the kids to rob other people for them. Lots of exploding people with bugs, ruining crops for entire villages, which has wiped out generations before. Been an all-round kind of bad person.
And I go to Franklin and I give him a small sachet of Snozzwiz and I go, best not to think about it.
Best not to think about it.
It's the first one you've ever been allowed to take.
Well, I take the
uncut
Snozzwiz, but I put it in my backpack. I'm not going to take any yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've just made a very big moral decision, and I feel like, now's not the time.
Yeah. And you guys head back to the village.
Mm-hmm.
You go through the door, and everyone seems to be awaiting your arrival. The tree looks in very, very, very poor shape.
I run to that tree and I go, Jackie boy, I got the Snozzwiz! And I pour the Snozzwiz over towards Jackie boy or let him do whatever.
So the tree itself has now shrunk all the way down to like a little baby tree almost. It looks quite tiny. You pour Snozzwiz on, and most of the big wounds don't seem to fully heal. The tree starts to wither, and it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it almost seems to crumble up into ash for the majority of the tree, and it's kind of raining down on everyone. There's lots of tears going. But you notice the Snozzwiz seems to fix kind of one tiny little seed, like fully healed.
Put the seed in a plant pot.
So they give you a plant pot, you plant the seed,
Give me a fucking plant pot!
and then they water it. They water it a little bit. And yeah, that's where we end this episode.
I mean, you killed Schmeichel for this plant pot.
This is Jackie boy.
So the whole tree's now just kind of crumbled into ash, but there is a little live seed which the Snozzwiz seem to have.
Jackie boy's the best, man. You don't understand. You've never met him.
Plant pot.
Yeah, the Snoz never met him, but once upon a time, I may or may not have been him.
How do you feel about your life decisions in this?
I feel good with my moral decisions. You know,
I felt
thugging.
I felt like we should have let things take its natural order.
Well, I think you were trying to just like, we're ignoring this, we're carrying on. You're like,
I'm gonna intervene.
I'm going to intervene here. And you guys are good.
Yeah, we set a bad person free and then walked off.
Nice.
That's what champions do.
We helped her, so she might come back and help us.
Maybe we got
Maybe.
with evil on our side.
No,
Yeah.
on your side, you can do good things.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right, up next, we have a word from our sponsor.
Hey, it's Mork from Mork's Emporium here, and here with my new products, Mork's Hairy Scissors. Tired of your scissors not being shaven like a snake? Need a flawless follicles in your bladed babe? Well, what are you waiting for? Get down to Mork's Emporium. That's Mork's Emporium. See you soon.
I will definitely be seeing Mork soon.
Yeah, hell's
Definitely. Up next, we have a sound intervention.
A sound intervention.
Invention.
Vention. Nice.
Nice. So, we have a little announcement to make. This will possibly be the last sound intervention on the podcast.
Yeah, on the podcast.
We're thinking about filming, so you can see our beautiful faces, the sound intervention as a separate video.
Yes.
A little separate
a
thing.
separate little video.
So look out for that'll be next week. We'll be carrying on the same pattern and everything.
It's just that on video, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So last week's we did Pheromonch's PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was V-Man's choice, and he chose Ludacris's Red Light District.
I did.
You did
Yes,
indeed.
you did.
Nice. Who would like to go first? Jack, what a pleasant,
I'll go
surprise.
first.
Shouldn't ask that.
Like,
I
I think this
decision making here in this group. Sorry, bro.
this might be one of the first proper like rap albums besides Nas's Illmatic that I like loved and was obsessed with. Red Light District. It bangs. And I know I don't use that term lightly. Knowing me, I don't use the term it bangs lightly. And when I say it bangs, it fucking bangs. There's just what I really like about this album overall, right, is that I don't know why, but Ludacris's flow just really like gets me. It might be because it's really nostalgic of me listening to this album, but there's just like parts in the album where I just know every bar, and I just know the beat. I know what song it is instantly from the beat. My favourite tracks on the album are obviously The Potion.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say The Potion now because it's
Was that the one that's produced by Timbaland? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Put Your Money Where Your Mouth. Put Your Money. It's called with DMX. One of like my favourite DMX like hooks. Yeah, it's awesome.
I love that. It goes so well with the beat.
Nas's Virgo with Ludacris and Doug E. Fresh. I thought
Yes, Doug E.
that's
Fresh.
sick.
That's like the beatboxing beat, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's hip hop.
And also, I really love the skit halfway through the Ludacris, the Red Light District, where he's like, he's doing a call to that woman, and that guy's like, "Oh, Ludacris, man, I love you, man."
My girlfriend.
Yeah, that was awesome. I absolutely adore the. Is it? Oh, it's number one spot.
Oh yeah,
the,
Austin Powers.
with the Austin Powers.
Thing.
There's so many. I noticed like there's so many Austin Power lines.
Yes.
About
Yeah.
mentions like Mini Me, the Fat
Yeah,
Bastard,
yeah.
and all that stuff. Yeah. It's
Me's and fat bastards.
yeah.
For me, it's probably one of my favourite Ludacris albums, I'd say.
Yes,
I'd say it's
definitely.
definitely up there, or if not one of his best Ludacris albums. There's a couple of songs on it that I feel like I could have done without.
But it's a big album at the same time, you know what I mean? It's a proper
Yeah,
full feature
it is
album.
a full feature album, but I don't know. I feel like maybe not. No, yeah, maybe I take that back. I think I take that back. Altogether, a good, well-rounded rap album, classic rap album for me.
Definitely.
It bangs.
So I had heard a lot of these songs I've heard before, but not as many as I thought I had before. For just the whole thing, man, this is such a fun album. It's like the best way to describe it is a fun album. Like, it's so early to mid 2000s.
Yeah.
So the ultimate,
Yeah.
like, I'm so nostalgic of hip hop in that time, where it's a fun album. It even comes with a Nate Dogg hook and a DMX. It just reminds me so much of it. Favorite tracks is a tough one. Actually, I really like the Virgo, which we spoke about. It's got like the beatbox. It's such a hip hop track.
Dougie Fresh.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then there's Get Back. which
Yeah,
I
back,
think is the
motherfucker, you
first
don't normally
ever
like
Ludacris
that.
song I've heard of. As soon as that song came on, I was like, oh man, this takes me back. This takes me back to like Too Fast, Too Furious,
Yeah.
or whatever it was, like the second Fast and Furious film.
Yeah.
I mean, we were watching that with my mates, and that's the first time I ever saw Ludacris, I think, was in that film. He had the big ass afro.
Yeah.
It was so nostalgic, so good, and Pay Your Money, just 'cause I love DMX, that verse. So, like, the first listen through this, there was only one song I didn't like, which is pretty crazy, because it's such a classic album of that time. It's like fairly long, fair few features, and absolutely bangs the whole way through. The only song I wasn't too keen on was Blueberry Yum Yum. Like that's the thing, like the first time through, and then by like halfway through it on the second listen through, I was getting really into it. So that was one that just grew a little bit, but the rest of it, I just love like every song. It's it's really easy listening.
And that's a good Oliver Twist
Yeah.
bloody sample as well. Actually, I forgot to mention that. That's from Oliver.
In
Yeah.
the
Is it
bank.
Oliver?
Large.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like now I like the song,
Yeah.
but like that is just such a fun album. I love it. It's got good bars,
Yeah.
amazing beats. They all bang. I don't know what it is about the early to mid 2000s, but they knew how to make banging beats.
Definitely.
And I feel like now there's a massive wave of
Trap drums.
trap drums,
Yeah.
but also like in rap in general, a lot of it's kind of conscious rap now. It's like a lot of the top stuff is conscious rap, or there's a lot of kind of like mumble rap and stuff, which is big as well. Those are the two things that are kind of big right now. Where I feel back then this type of album was huge for a while. It had its spot,
Braggadocious.
like braggadocious, loud. I love it.
Fun.
Yeah.
Really like a fun album, and towards the end of the album, they had a few serious tracks. Not the last one, but the two before that I think were quite serious. But apart from that, it was just a really fun album.
Yeah,
I love it.
An artist enjoying themselves is always good to hear on
Yeah,
the
it's always
track.
good to hear.
It's so good. I wish like people still made beats like this. I always thought that. I was always like, why don't they ever do like Eminem show beats anymore? Because they still bang.
Yeah.
Like, why does no one do that anymore? I don't know. I don't know why they don't. I love it.
Yeah, I love this album.
I said I love it about 5 times, but I love it.
Nostalgia City here over here. Like The Potion, obviously. Get Back.
Do you remember the music video for Get Back?
And he had
The
the
giant
big
hands.
Yeah. Massive hands.
And I loved DMX track, and number one spot. There's too many songs on this album that you go, oh fucking hell, that's a good one.
It's
Oh,
a good track. It's a good track.
that's a good track. Oh, by the way, that's a good track. I love the way he has fun with his flow. I love the emphasis. Seems like a midget is hanging from my necklace.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you
There's
know,
also
like-
just clarity as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he
much
is,
clarity.
he's really clear in his diction sometimes.
Yeah, his diction is like up there with Andre's and
Yeah.
Tech Nine's sort of diction. It's really good to hear, and yeah, I just love the fact they had fun with the whole album, and you can hear it, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna chill to this for a bit.
Yeah. Fun fact, I've tried Blueberry Yum Yum.
Have you?
Yeah, because obviously it's about smoking weed. I've tried Blueberry Yum Yum.
How did it go?
It's the shit. It's good. It is good.
You get 5 schmeckles.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really nice.
Decent. So if anyone's out there wondering if the song reps up to its standard of Blueberry
definitely
and Yum
does.
Yum,
It definitely does.
it definitely does. Decent.
Nice. Yeah, great album overall. Really like it.
So
So my choice. It's my choice this week. So for next week, we're going to do it on the new format, aren't we? We're going to record it and release it as a standalone.
Yes.
So get excited. My album choice for this week is an album by Prince. And I think, I don't know how much you guys have listened to Prince, but it's Prince's Sign O' the Times.
Sign O' Times. Right.
The Times.
Oh, come on.
Sign O' the Times.
Spotify will work it
Anything
out
I've
for me.
heard of Prince is a remix version of one of his songs sung by Jay Badass.
Right. Well, then you're in for a treat.
Cool. I'm
Sweet.
ignorant when it comes to Prince. I haven't heard much.
Cool.
I don't think I've heard of Prince, but that's about it.
Decent.
Sweet, that'll be it next week. And then the new format. Up next, our final advert / sponsor of / week.
Pavements and Beyond, the only service that lets you pave anything. We got pavement cats, pavement railways, pavement glue sticks, and even pavements. They don't work as well as regular pavements. So come down to Pavements and Beyond and pave that pavement. It's a lot of pavement.
It's a trusted service. I've used it a couple of times.
What did you use for it?
Well, I can't disclose that in the podcast.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, cool. Up next we have What Can You Bring to the Fable?
What can you bring to the fable? Fable.
Hi.
What up, Sid?
What up?
Keeping a gangster?
I mean, no.
No.
I
Nice.
wasn't gangster to
Nice.
begin with, so I can't really keep it gangster.
Hey.
Perfect. We don't want you doing any organised crimes. Do you have a little
No,
recap
mostly unorganised.
of our magical adventure so far?
Yes.
Hit us. Not literally.
I mean, maybe. Finishing the fight with a friendly spell, the party left the compound to return to the ship. However, a last-minute change of plan ended up with Splorf heading back to the ship alone, while the others went back in with all the weapons. Finding nearly all of their original stuff in the security office, Fenton and Sheesbury were tooled up. Splorf found a shiny rock.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I have got a shiny rock.
So we don't know he's not back at the ship yet.
No, that's true.
So we're going. I reckon we'll assume he's back there by now.
Yeah, it's been.
So
it's been
I'm
about
gonna
20
radio across our secret code, which is take point, which means come pick us up.
And I'll be like, You know that shit.
Uh,
the point cannot be taken yet.
Huh.
That's okay.
And then I reckon we just head to the courtyard.
Wait, hold on a second. Wasn't there a chest in this room as well that we haven't searched?
Yeah, I got some grenades out of it.
Yeah, you found some stuff in there.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I got 4 grenades. You
Oh,
got
sweet
3
as
grenades
fuck.
as well.
All right, cool. Yeah, and then I guess we just leave.
Yeah, if I go, we'll just head that way.
So just walk out.
Okay, you can head out the security room. You can go straight ahead, or you can turn right.
The way we came in, whichever direction that was.
Okay, you turn right,
Nice, thank God. Okay.
and then you turn right again,
Mhm.
and then you turn left. And you have a choice. There's a door on the right, which you believe is a fire exit you originally left out when you were sneaking out, or there's a door right ahead of you, which you don't know where it leads, and there's also a corridor that bends around to the left.
I'm going to take a tactical decision and go through the door where we have no idea where it leads.
Tactical.
I'd say that's a good idea.
You open the door,
Mm-hmm.
and in before you, you see a large red carpet down the middle of the room.
And like it's about goddamn time someone showed me some respect.
On each side there are pews,
Mm-hmm.
and on the outside of the carpet is kind of like lace, but it's more of a spider web.
Mm-hmm.
And in the centre is a large altar.
I'm a strut towards that altar.
I'm gonna stand exactly where I am because I'm
taking the golden skull with me.
by
You don't have
nature
the
I
golden
don't
skull.
trust
We don't
red.
have it. It wasn't in the.
Wasn't in the chest.
Fuck.
By nature I don't trust red, so I don't follow. I stand at the door.
Okay. You walk gradually towards the altar, by which I mean strut, and you successfully strut right in front of the altar.
I do some of that like Driver 2 music. Do you remember Driver 2 on like PlayStation 1? Like bow, 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 bow,
I don't remember that music. I have tried it.
As I walk, I'm doing that as I walk.
Everyone else is lost. Okay. No one knows the reference.
Damn it. I look around like, I do it anyway, I carry on. Persist.
Okay, then you persist in making the noise.
Cool. I look at the altar.
You could altar, yeah. So it's a large ornate marble altar. In the centre of it is a large spider sort of diagram kind of thing, or diagram design. And there are 2 candles, one on each side, as you would expect of an altar.
Mm-hmm.
In the centre of it is a passage.
There's a, oh, I'll read it.
It says, "Blessed be thy spider. Those webs you weave only serve to keep us safe."
I look around the fence, I'm like, they're nutters. And is there anything valuable I can steal off the altar?
What?
Anything gold?
Are you looking around?
Yeah.
Okay, you look around, you can't seem to see anything valuable, but you notice a breeze coming from underneath the altar.
I try and push, like, shove the altar out the way.
Oh, shit. You managed to do that
Hey,
somehow.
my sheer strength. I'm a medic.
Your
Cool.
shoes.
I look down to see
strength.
if there's a passageway then.
There is a stairwell.
I'm like, Fenton,
A fairly...
Follow
the stairwell
thy-
where you can see the centre of the stairs are quite worn.
mm-hmm.
And that's kind of it really. You can't really see much further down there. There's no lights, there's no torches, nothing like that. As far as you can see.
Fenton, I found a creepy passageway. We should definitely go down it. Like I'm going down it, so I'm assuming you want to take point in this situation.
I have my reservations, but I walk up to where he stood.
Before I go
Okay.
down though, I'm a radio splorf and say we're going underground, so my radio might not work, but proceed with the plan.
And I go,
And possibly rescue us if we get stuck.
This is all on one channel. Every other guard can.
Oh, yeah, I know, but fuck them.
and I go, the plan was never to go underground.
True. But, you know, we didn't make the mainstream, so it's our only situation.
By this point, you can kind of you if you carry on walking, you're pretty much outside where the asylum is.
Okay. I look around for the ship.
Okay, you don't know whether you can't see the ship, but you know which way the ship was because you know which direction you went when you flew away.
I walk towards it.
Okay, you're walking that way.
Yeah.
Okay, you walk that way.
Oh yes, good walking.
You walk this way.
All right.
Yeah. But do you talk this way?
Talk this way.
You can see the ship in the distance.
Oh, decent.
It's just over.
Covered in spider webs.
It's not covered in spider webs, no. Well, you can't really see from a distance. I mean, it's sort of like this in its vision. It's tiny, tiny little ship.
For the podcast listeners, it's like this.
It's about an inch in his vision. I was miming an inch with my fingers.
I should have done it with a penis.
Double whammy. So bad.
Too easy. Too
It's like the
easy.
same joke.
Too plain sight.
Cool, well, you can head to the ship.
Yeah, I'm running.
You go towards the ship.
I'm making my way as quick as possible, lads. You go in your silly
And you're going to
cage.
go underground.
Cool. I reckon as we go underneath, we push the altar, we drag the altar back on above us,
Okay.
so people don't know where we've gone.
Are you doing that alone or is
I don't know if someone's come with me or not. Man, you got dynamite, we can blow our
you
way
can't
out
move it
if
on
we
your
start.
own this time?
That means I have
I'm
to.
like, come on, Fennon, let's bounce, bro.
And again, I reluctantly decide to follow
Okay.
and help move
Help.
the fucking thing.
Okay, you move the fucking thing.
Hey, I give you a high
Above
five
your
in the
head.
darkness.
Completely covering you in the darkness.
I use one of the torches that we had ages ago when we came down, which I'm assuming were in the chests where we recovered our stuff.
Yes.
I
Well,
use one of the
actually, as your guard's uniform, you've got torches strapped to a belt anyway, like electric ones.
Nice.
Oh, sweet, we use those.
Yeah, turn them bad boys
You,
on.
the light is bright and you can see most things. You can see the stairway goes down by about 25 feet.
I like do a massive grin to Fenton as if this is like the greatest adventure we've ever been on. Like, you know, I'm like a cat who's born like a dead mouse and is really proud of it, but no one really wants the mouse.
I'm gritting my teeth, smiling like, oh god.
And I head towards into the depths.
Okay, heading into the depths, you can see a room ahead of you. It's an L-shaped room, and you're entering at the sort
God, I
of.
feel like I'm about to take an L.
You are entering at the
Take an L.
it's an L-shaped room in the sense of if you're on top of the L, you can see that it pans and goes off to the right.
Okay, so we know it's gonna go right.
Yeah. The room itself looks fairly new. It looks almost clinical.
Clinical.
Good word, right?
I look at Fence and I go, this room looks almost clean.
Cleaned.
Looks new.
Cleaned.
And I finally fess up about my and I'm like, I'm not really sure if we should have done this.
I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna lie either. I'm gonna come clean here. A voice in my head told me to do it, and I just did it. Okay, so I feel like we can trust it, and it's been in my head for a little while now, and, you know, hasn't put us too far wrong so far. So I reckon we keep going.
Before I go any further, can I
Detect traps.
not detect traps? No.
Oh,
Set
that's
traps.
fine.
Oh,
That's a good idea, actually. Try and fire off.
You can't hear me though.
I'm like, I feel like I'm getting a message from someone.
I'm on the
Oh,
radio.
I thought
Don't
I-
forget to set some traps for us.
Oh, I've only got the spell of chance of breaking. Is this breaking?
Sounds like a shit spell, man.
Well, I
Does.
thought I'd have a spell to make something.
You had something. What was it?
Well, I thought I did, but what's that?
Oh, that's not a spell. That's not your spell. That's just the stuff you can make. So you can make pipe bombs and basic traps, explosives, med packs, dynamite, and you can make some basic weapons. So
Right.
like things like sticks and stuff.
So I can't
Proper
try and
weapons.
meddle with the radio to try and get it to work underground in any way, shape.
I mean, you can
Oh,
attempt
can we
to.
test the radio to see if it works on the ground? Yeah, we might not gone deep enough yet, but no.
Alright, I mean, try it. Yeah, go on then. Yeah.
Um,
I try it.
I'm like, Hey.
You try the radio. You lift it up to your face, and as you do that, you sort of slips out your hand and falls on the floor and breaks.
I get out my radio and like
The same thing happens to you.
I'm like, there's some dark magic at work. Double one is what we love. Okay, I'm gonna detect traps in this little passageway before we move around the corner.
Okay, the dice is currently rolling. You don't detect any traps.
I'm like, there's 100% no traps here.
Well, then you take point.
Cool. I'm gonna stick to one wall where it's gonna bend round. I'm gonna like slide along like I'm in a video game, and I'm gonna peer around the corner.
Okay, well you can see now you're in this room properly. You can see that the walls are sort of lined with computer objects, measuring equipment, a little bit like a laboratory sort of thing. It's only a small room though. It's not. It's only as long as the passageway was. It's only 25 foot long, about 15 foot wide, and then when it opens up to the other L part, it's about 25 foot wide.
Is there any loot down here? Can I see? I'll look around for
There's a lot
any
of sort of
valuable stuff.
Tools and
potions.
scientific equipment. You don't seem to find anything that you believe you can use.
I just push some stuff over though. Like I mess it up a little bit. I switch notes around, move.
Okay,
Different tests and stuff
in
gets
doing
around.
so, you find something which you believe, out of your limited experience, to be something that may heal you in a time of crisis.
I'll take it.
I continue to walk forward.
You found the ship.
What's it called, by the way? This thing I've added to my
It's
backpack.
classified as a potion of healing.
Yes.
I look around just in case what's going around the ship.
You notice around the ship there are 3 or 4 sort of wild dogs.
Okay. I get my chainsaw out.
Yeah, you got a chainsaw. Okay, you
Wait, when the fuck did you get a chainsaw?
I think it's just a saw, but like an electric saw.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, he stole it. He stole like a circular
Yeah,
sword.
you guys,
didn't he?
you know it's got guns. Something like that. Something
Why
that
did
shoots
you
from
not
distance.
use the circular saw on the guards?
I think it was before my pre-saw.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Maybe
I
I
swear
forgot
it
about
wasn't.
the sword.
Maybe I forgot about it. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I didn't-
Just remembered you had it. This old thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the sound alone might scare off dogs.
Yeah, it's
And I
Just-
start revving up the chainsaw. Vow, vow, wow, wow.
The dogs turn to face you, and then they don't seem too startled by you.
Are they on the ship
Ain't
or in the
scared.
ship?
This
Just
little
around the
bitch.
ship, around the bottom of the
This
ship.
two-legged humanoid bitch.
And then I put the saw away and I cast animal friendship.
Please say you actually have a spell called Animal Friendship. You do. This is the greatest ever.
And I go, we can be friends if you want.
Victor's got the better story here. I'm just saying, like all day, every day, get some animal
I
friends.
start them at first and then go, all right, we can be enemies or we can be friends.
I am the leader now. I am the pack leader now.
Okay,
I am alpha.
right.
I am alpha. Please let it work.
Okay. All but one of the wild dogs becomes more friendly towards you.
Make them turn on their former friend.
I look at the one dog and I go, this is a dog eat dog world, and I send them all against that one.
Okay, 3 hits. The other dog is very injured.
All right, I finish him off with the saw.
So wait, how many dog friends do you have now?
I got
3.
3 dog friends, I think, or 2 dog
3 dog
friends.
friends. They're not permanent.
You finished
Okay.
a dog off with just like a fucking sword. That's crazy.
Okay, you carve the dog in twain.
Hey.
Twain.
And I go,
Maze.
and you said it's not permanent, this animal friendship.
Yeah.
I go, off with you, my friends, for we will meet again. I don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again.
The dogs look at you and go,
Some sunny day.
woof, and they disappear.
Cool.
Not disappear like disapparate, they just sort of disappear as in walk away.
disperse.
They dog away.
I walk into
Yeah.
the.
Greatest moment ever where you say like cast animal friendship. Is that real, Finn? Hell, points at it on your piece of paper. I'm like, oh my god.
Yes.
I get in the spaceship.
Yep.
Shut the door, lock it.
Yep.
Put the kettle on.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. And I try and make radio connection with my friends.
You don't receive any radio back.
I receive a hobnob from the cupboard
You
and
do
I
that?
dunk it in the tea
Okay, you successfully dunk hobnobs in the tea.
and I eat it.
The hobnob falls apart as you pick it out of the tea.
Oh, that's the worst.
A little bit splashes in.
I make a new tea.
Alright, fair.
As it's compromised.
Yeah.
It's been tarnished.
Tarnished tea.
Cool. So I've poked my head round the corner now.
Yep. Okay,
See.
you can see more apparatus, and a door in the centre of it. It's a large steel door, reinforced.
No.
I'm like, hey bro,
No.
you know that dynamite you got?
No.
I got an idea.
No.
And I walk up and I look at the door.
Okay.
I evaluate.
You evaluate the door.
Yep, see if it's open, so there's any mechanisms on it to open it.
You believe it needs a key card to open.
I'll try my security key card.
It snaps.
It snaps
Yes.
as I put it through.
Yes.
I'm like, bro, maybe it work with yours.
You trying yours?
Yeah.
Yours actually green lights. Yours allows you through.
Fuck.
Nice. Does the door open in like slow motion?
The door doesn't actually open, but it's unlocked.
Oh, I open the door.
Okay. So you pull the handle.
Yeah, I don't look for traps, I just pull the handle.
Yep. You pull the handle, and the door opens so slow. It's such a heavy door.
I'm like, bro, you give me a hand
In
here.
fact, you are actually going to need help from Fenton to pull the door.
Oh. And I, again, reluctantly. I'm going to do everything reluctantly because I don't want to come down here. I'm going to be like, fuck, giving it like
the
half.
door slowly opens, and as the crack between the door and the door frame opens up to actually reveal what's inside, you hear a bubbling noise. As the door comes open more and more and more, you look inside and you can see vats upon vats of just fluid. You can't really see what's in them at the moment.
Flashback to my bubbling tea.
Cut back.
Yeah, good.
I put the milk
shit,
back
that
into the tea,
foreshadowing.
not only a slash of milk, and I take the tea bag out.
Okay, you've made tea.
I reflect whilst drinking on what my friends Fenton and Shmeeb Moob are doing.
You have a weird moment,
Okay.
and you sort of fall into sort of like a bit of a hypnosis, and you just see bubbling.
Must be the tea.
You look into the tea, you see bubbling, you see a fluid that's not your fluid. You see these two, just in a room with lots and lots of vats and
Could I
steel
depictate
walkway.
with my ranger skills where this room could be?
You can't, but you assume based upon where they were. You use your logic to deduce that it's probably somewhere on the grounds of the building that you were in.
There's no windows as well, I suppose.
And I wish they wasn't stupid enough to go underground, made their way to us like they were stuck to the plan. And I wish they kept their radios.
I'm like, as he sees the reflection, I'm like grinning so happy about the adventure. I'm like, look man, vats of like unknown liquids.
And
I
I'm
walk
not
in the room.
I'm not even looking at the vats. I'm just looking down at the floor.
I look around the room.
Okay, well,
I wish I went with Splorf.
Okay,
I wish I went with Splorf.
we'll do Fenton's view first. And Fenton, you see on the floor, you see at the very bottom, you can see through the grate. It's a still kind of grated steel walkway. The vats are quite tall, and at the bottom it's all dark. You can't really see much, but what you can see is just like a little flash of white every now and again. What you obviously see 3 vats, then a little pathway, you don't know where it leads off to. 3 more vats. You can see the 3 large vats in the centre, and 3 in the corner, sort of in an L shape, and then a sort of bank of computer and mechanical parts that you're not entirely sure what they do on the side. Most of one wall.
I've got 2 plans here. So step 1, I'm going to go to the computer and see if I can suss anything out. It's a logical solution.
Okay.
If this fails, then I've got a great backup plan. You're going to love the backup plan.
What's your medicine?
My medicine is +5.
Okay, you look and you go, actually, I think I know what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
They're experimenting on things, animals and humans alike.
I'm still shaking my head and looking at the.
I'm like, Fenton, they're experimenting on animals and people, but who cares about people? But they're doing it on animals, Fenton. We have to stop this. And without waiting to hear his reply, I go to my phase 2 of my plan. I take out my hammer. Now, is my hammer a small hammer or is it like a war hammer?
It's
A sledgehammer.
a small hammer.
Fuck it. I try it anyway, and I try cracking one of the big vats.
You get your hammer, you reel back, you throw it as hard as you can.
No, not throwing. I'm going to hold on to it
Sorry,
because I've learned what happens when I throw stuff.
Okay, fine. You will wheel back all of your force and hit the hammer on the side of the vat, and you just hear a ching as it cracks from outside. The hammer,
Yes.
from where you hit the hammer.
I go for a second swing, but I briefly stop to look at Fenton's face.
As you briefly stop to look at Fenton's face,
Yeah.
you try and hit the hammer and you miss, and you throw the hammer at Fenton's face, dealing 3 damage.
I'm like, oops.
And I say, that's it. I'm going back to the top of the stairs and I'm going to sit there. And I do so. I go back out and I go to the top of the stairs by the frickin' altar.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you're sitting at the top of the stairs alone.
Yep.
And you're down there alone, and you're in the ship alone.
Okay. Oh well, this is going to go so well.
Are we leaving it? Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
I'll leave it at that. Okay, so we split the party again.
Yeah.
So all the separate ways as a crack for that. Cool.
So I think I'm pretty chilled.
She's pretty chilled.
I'll put the Netflix,
Like,
I've
you
got
had,
the Netflix
you had a
on.
vision of us underground, unknown, with no radios, and you're like, I'm gonna have another coffee.
I don't know what to do, and like no one seems to have stuck to the plan. Like
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
seems like nobody stuck to the plan.
Yeah.
it seems like if I had a radio to connect to and like respond like, oh, where are you? Oh, I'll just pick you up from where we planned.
Where we decided to.
Mm-hmm. Man, they experiment on animals and shit down here.
We'll join in.
We join in, get some of this good old healing juice they have. Look, the side adventure went well. I've got a health potion.
I killed a dog.
And you killed a dog. And made some dog friends.
I like dogs.
And I
Yeah, you made a friend with more of them than you
followed
killed.
a plan.
And you kind of followed a plan. And that's it for this week's
This week's
podcast. Thanks for listening. Catch us on all the social medias.
We have got a new sketch out on our YouTube, so check that out. So we have,
And we have another one in
couple,
post.
Another one in
as
post
well.
currently.
This is going on the YouTube too.
Yep, it's all going on YouTube.
So that's free failing actors, free the number at gmail.com if you want to contact us
Yep,
or any
send
other
us
social medias.
nudes or ideas of
We
stuff.
got a lot of nudes. We got a lot
Or
of nudes,
nudes.
mainly from like nerdy like blokes, like just,
Yeah,
like,
which is a bit,
Which is
Jack
Jordan
enjoys
likes.
that.
Nah,
kind of
God damn
thing.
it.
But
It's the second time it's happened today.
We'll see you next week.
Peace.